All right. So the election of 2016 hits. Donald Trump wins. And everybody says, the system's broken. We need to get rid of the Electoral College because the system's broken. We need to fix the system because the system's broken. It's rigged. So we want it to not be rigged. We want it to be fixed, right? Funnily enough, the two words can mean the same thing, but we're going to ignore that because I'm trying to convince you that the system is broken, right? So the system needs to be fixed instead of rigged. We need to fix the system. That way, instead of your candidate winning, the candidate we don't like, we'll have it fixed so that the right candidate, our candidate, will win. That way it won't be rigged. Instead, it'll be fixed, right? So I'm watching videos last night, and like I said, I keep the advertisements on because you never know what little gems you're going to find. And here I found this one. The newest way to try and fix the broken system.
What is approval voting? Simply put, it's a better way to run an election.
See that? This is a better way to run the system. The system that we have that has worked for over 200 years, fuck that system. It's broke. Our candidate lost. Now, I will say this. This video is like 5 years old, which means that it came out after the 2012 election, right? But I will also say this. Motherfuckers have a crystal ball, the likes of which I cannot believe. There's so many similarities, it really just makes me laugh. But let's continue.
Let's take a trip to Plantsville. It's election time, and Mayor Blueberry is campaigning hard for a second term in office.
Alright, now, goofy cartoon aside, because I don't know, I think that this is supposed to be for adults. I don't know, but I see it as another way to try and mislead children. But nevertheless, you know, that's how you change the future. You mislead the children.
She won the last election with 65% against her opponent, Mr. Squash, and she still enjoys strong support.
Now see, the funny thing is, we're not complaining about that election. Why would we complain about that election? Hillary Clinton, Mrs. Blueberry won that election. We're happy with that election. That election went fine.
Once again, Mr. Squash is quick to challenge Miss Blueberry.
I like the Monsanto reference.
But this time, they're joined by a third challenger, Mr. Peach, who shares similar views with Mayor Blueberry.
Now, just so you know, the reason I brought up that this was from 5 years ago after the 2012 election is because this heavily goes in favor of third-party candidates. Now, I love the idea of a third-party candidate. I think it's great. However, third-party candidates are generally fucking losers. The reason is because everybody's just kind of used for voting Democrat or Republican. But also, the third-party candidates have never really had a good candidate. They're always kind of like a wishy-washy, I just want to be elected, even though I know there's really no chance, so I'm just going to kind of throw myself out there and...
Mr. Peach sweet-talks almost half of Blueberry's supporters into switching their vote to him, while Mr. Squash holds the same 35% he had last time.
Right? So, apparently, that's bad. We don't like when Bernie Sanders or Mr. Peach comes in and decides to sweet-talk the already thoroughly divided Democratic Party, I don't know, Berry Party into fucking, going a different way maybe, because, alright, I'm starting to get fucked up now with this shit.
The votes are counted. And what's this? Mr. Squash wins? Blueberry and Peach have split the fruit vote. How did this happen?
Well, my guess is probably because Mrs. Blueberry and Mr. Peach thought that they were guaranteed to win because their ideology is the only true correct ideology. Whereas Mr. Squash did the hard work, went out to the other berry fruit people, whatever, and said, hey, what is it you guys want? Okay, well, I think I could probably do that, so I'm going to say that I'm going to do that, and then if I get elected, I'm actually going to do that. You know, he did the hard work. He didn't just go, well, I have a vagina, a berry hole, and so you should vote for me because that's just correct. And that's probably why Squash won.
Peach's supporters also like Blueberry, but couldn't say so on their ballots. A simple solution is to change the ballot from vote for one to vote for one or more.
See, simply put, this is just a better system.
Allowing everyone to state all the candidates they support. This is called approval voting.
Probably what they should call it is ideology voting, because that's essentially what it fucking is. You're not voting for the candidate. You're voting for the issues that you want to have pushed forward. So it's not really even approval voting, it's ideology voting. Well, let's fucking be honest here.
With approval voting, the election would have gone quite differently. Peach's supporters no longer fear that a vote for Peach will help elect Squash. Instead, they show their sincere support for Peach and also Blueberry.
And we're also assuming here that, you know, people who might have supported Peach, they certainly won't support Squash because Squash, you know, he doesn't follow with Blueberry and Peach's ideology.
They want to prevent Mr. Squash from winning, and they do.
See, this is all a team-up effort by Peach and Blueberry to fuck Squash, because we don't want Squash no matter what. We just definitely don't want Squash because Squash is such a bad person, because Squash is fucking Donald Trump and fucking assholes.
And approval voting accurately reflects Peach's support. Mayor Blueberry wins the election. Democracy is restored.
Is it? Is it really?
Approval voting is more than just a smart idea in Plantsville. It's a smart idea anywhere you vote.
Is it? Is it really?
Approval voting is used by organizations across the globe, and for good reason.
Yeah, I could see how, like, Coke and Pepsi would love the idea of this. Because while people might not like Coke, they might love, you know, Sierra Mist and Mountain Dew. And if they go, well, which would you rather have, Coke or Pepsi? And some people might go, well, I'll fucking like either Coke or Pepsi. I drink Sprite. And in which case, technically, you're saying, well, I like Pepsi products. Or whatever. I don't even fucking know. But yeah, I could see this being in that instance, where you have two companies who make multiple different products. They want to see out of which of the two companies that make these multiple different products, which one do you actually like more? Because you might not even know that when you're drinking Mountain Dew, you're supporting Coke products or whichever the fuck it is. I don't even know.
It's democratic because the candidate with the most support wins. It removes the spoiler effect. Even losing candidates get an accurate reflection of support.
Do they? Do they really?
And voting your favorite never hurts you.
Which is an amazingly stupid fucking thing for them to say, because you're not voting for your favorite. You're voting for a random selection of people. These two. I guess my favorite, I don't really have a favorite, so these two then. You're not really voting for your favorite. If you're voting for your favorite, you're picking one or the other.
Start the conversation on approval voting and share this video. Then join the Center for Election Science at electology.org.
What amazes me is that they put the word science in this.
Better voting starts with you.
You and maybe a couple of other people. We'll see when everything's tallied who exactly it starts with, because honestly, we don't really know. Saying it starts with you That's too solid of a thing. It could be a group of people. We don't know. I think, needless to say, I'm not in favor of this. Probably because it's fucking stupid. I don't know. I'm just one person. I'd probably need to get 3 or 4 other people to agree with me before we could have an actual vote on whether or not it's fucking stupid. Because, yeah, one or the other, stupid or not, it could be a mix. Who knows? Again, everybody does this, well, it's broken, so we need to fix it. And when they say fix, I hear rigged.